I'm sure many of you are also watching what's going on in the United States today with the whole impeachment saga. I was watching a few minutes, hearing the different sides from the Republican Party, the Democratic Party. And I think anybody who would take an objective view or an independent view just to watch what was going on, regardless of what you may feel or your opinion is about the impeachment, one thing that was glaringly obvious was the massive divide and almost this hatred that exists between the two different sides. Unfortunately, I believe it's spilling into the streets and will continue to spill into the streets. It's a very sad, very sad day for politics and of course for the American people. I think there's a lesson though that we need to learn, from this saga that's continuing, and again, notwithstanding what you might feel, whether he should or shouldn't be impeached, but there's definitely a lesson about how we can behave. And I think the lesson comes from our parasha this week, Parasha Vayeshev, where we have the very troubling story. Every year we're reminded of it, and every year we have to try and grapple with how did it actually, the events unfold. But we have Joseph's brothers who don't like Joseph. Now, whatever their reason might be, it could have been jealousy, they didn't like what he was saying, they were against his view. And their method at first to get rid of him was, let's kill him, let's get him off the scene. Eventually they decide, no, we're not going to kill him. How can we kill him? He's our brother, let's sell him, let's make sure he's no longer around. And I think herein lies the massive problem. And again, it's not just a problem with Joseph and his brothers, not just a problem in the American politics, it's a problem which can occur anywhere, within a family, within a community, where if you don't necessarily agree with somebody else's view, or you want something so badly, or you don't want the other person's view to be heard, what do? Let's get rid of them. Let's chuck them out. Let's discard them. And unfortunately, as we know, the results of that will land up that the person who is trying to silence and to not consider somebody else's opinion or view will eventually have egg in their face, because as we see, Joseph's brothers later on have to face him when eventually they see that he's now been appointed as the second highest position in the land of Egypt. And so in life, if you don't agree with somebody, if you don't necessarily want to hear somebody else's view, I think that's a mistake. We always have to consider, instead of trying to push somebody out, instead of trying to hurt somebody, instead of trying to say, I don't care what you have to say, I'm just going with what I think, that's when disaster happens. We need to listen. We need to say, look, I might not agree with you, but let's try and work together. When we can see ourselves as brothers and sisters, we can see ourselves as really under one roof, in a sense. We're all God's children. The minute and the moment we realize that, then I think we can work better together. I think that society as a whole will function better. So whatever happens in the United States, we'll see, history will tell us what will occur. But in our own lives, let's remember Joseph's brothers and their mistake, and hopefully not make the same mistakes in our own lives. Wishing you a Shabbat Shalom and a wonderful weekend ahead.